All right, let's take a look at the rental market and just how competitive it is and the reasons why in this video. First off, I'm Mike Thornton. I'm a local realtor in the Chicagoland area based out of Wheaton, Illinois. If you're looking to make a move to the west suburbs or want to know more about the real estate market or just want to talk shop, please reach out to us. We'd love to be a resource for you. There's a link in our description for a 15-minute discovery call, or just reach out directly. My phone number is in the description as well. But let's look at America's hottest rental markets to start 2024. And much like 2023, it's a very competitive environment across the board. One of the big macro factors impacting that is you have purchasers that are looking to purchase that are just unable to because the purchase market is so competitive that they're becoming renters kind of by default. That's not their plan A, but it's become their plan B because they just can't find a place. They cannot get an offer accepted. They're competing against all the houses that they offer on. There's again 10 offers and they're just unable to secure one. So they're becoming renters. And so the renter pool is actually increasing, and it's also putting pressure on the rental supply market, as obviously you have a lot of areas of the country where we're doing build to rent, but in many areas in some of the most competitive markets on this list, that's not as prevalent, like areas like Austin or Orlando, or where we have lots of new construction. A lot of places like the Midwest, or like where we are here in Chicagoland, we're a bit more constrained. We're not really a sprawling city. And so we can't just keep building and building and building to solve this problem. And so you see how competitive it is, a 73 index for how competitive the market is. But let's go to the actual markets themselves. And the one I want to highlight, obviously, just because we're here, is suburban Chicago. You might say, what the heck? It's not the city itself, but the suburbs as a very competitive market. And we are seeing that. We have the lowest supply we've ever seen. We're seeing buyers frustrated, and they're turning to rentals to have a place and a roof over their head until they can find a place to purchase. Many of those folks are also trying to wait for interest rates to come down, which has been very sticky. And many analysts thought we'd be in the low sixes by now, but we're just above 7, as inflation still hasn't come down to the target that the Fed's looking for, at least. And so the rates remain higher. I'll do a separate video because it's actually very interesting on the cost of waiting. And if you were to look at the average appreciation over 1 year in today's market, which is ranging from 7 to 8% in Chicagoland, if you were to wait 6 months for that rate to go down 1 point, your monthly payment's actually higher, even if you secure that lower rate, but the home's 3 or 4% more expensive. So it's a very interesting analysis, but many people are kind of waiting for that. You see a lot of places here like Milwaukee in the Midwest, suburban Chicago, Grand Rapids, Cincinnati, Lansing, a lot of places here in the Midwest that I would say and describe as not sprawling cities, places that were a little bit more landlocked. If you look at like Orlando or Austin or some of these other areas, they just keep building further out, and they do have a ton of new construction, and much of that construction is built to rent. So it's to help alleviate some of the pressures in the rental community, but the Midwest is a little bit different. So I was a little bit surprised to see this, but when I think about what I'm actually seeing on the ground here, it's not as much of a surprise. But the story is the rental market is just as competitive as the purchase market. We have a lot of work to do to alleviate this, as you have very active people groups like baby boomers and millennials that are active at the very same time right now in the purchase market, making that a very competitive. And you have the constraint of investors really trying to go deeper and deeper in building portfolios. And you have big institutionalized investors also trying to own as much single family real estate as possible, which is just putting a constraint on that purchase market. Hope this video provides a little bit of insight of what's going on in the rental market, as it's mirroring the purchase market in many ways. Again, if you have any questions, want to know more about Chicagoland, Wheaton, Glen Ellyn, those areas, please reach out. We'd love to be a resource for you. Have a good day.